Hi, I'm Kanupriya Sharma from GMATQuizMaster, and I am here with this hard OG boldface question for you. Before we start discussing this question, let me explain what makes this question hard and what can you learn from this question. Basically, why should you be attempting this question? The most important learning from this question is that you should always read the answer choices very carefully and understand their meaning completely before selecting or rejecting them. Why do I say so? The data shows that almost everyone who attempted this question was able to reject three incorrect answer choices very easily. What about the other two? One of them was the correct answer choice, and the other one was the most popular incorrect answer choice. And we have almost equal distribution between these two choices. So, almost 50% of the students attempting this question go with the most popular incorrect answer choice. The reason? It is not that they have not understood the passage. It is not that they do not know how to solve boldface questions or they do not know what role these boldface statements are playing. The reason is mostly that these students did not understand the meaning that is being conveyed by this popular incorrect answer choice. So, even after making the effort, even after spending time, they went ahead and selected the incorrect answer choice. So, let's discuss this question and see how we can avoid this mistake. Let's start with passage analysis. In order to achieve self sufficiency in electricity production. So, this is the target. We are trying to achieve self sufficiency in electricity production. And in order to do that, so some plan will be discussed or some proposal will be discussed. Let's read. The Hazarian government proposes to construct 11 huge hydroelectric power plants. So, this is a proposal that has been discussed, that has been given to achieve self sufficiency in electricity production. And this is a proposal by this government. Let's read further. Although, so this is a contrast word, let's keep that in mind. This is a massive project. So, this is the author's opinion. The author is saying that this project of 11 new hydroelectric power plants, which are huge, is massive. It is probably not massive enough to achieve the goal. So, the author started with a contradiction, although, and said that this is a massive project. I agree this is massive, but the issue is that it is probably not massive enough to achieve the goal. It is true that now author is saying something that the author considers to be true. Adding the projected output of the new hydroelectric power plants. So if the projected output of new 11 plants, let's say is 1000 units. Adding this output to the output that Hazaria can achieve now. So, if it is added to the existing output, let's say it is 500 units, would be enough to meet the forecast demand for electricity. So, the forecast is, let's say, 1500 units. So, the author is saying that if we add this expected output, the projected output of new plants to the existing output, the output from the existing plants, we should be able to meet the forecast demand for electricity. So that is something positive, that the plan should be able to meet the expected outcome. All right. It will, however, so here is the twist. What is the problem here? It will, however, take at least 15 years to complete the project, right? So these new 11 plants will be available after 15 years, after at least 15 years. And by then, the majority of Hazaria's current power plants will be too old to function at full capacity. So let's say after 15 years, new will start delivering, let's say, 1000 units. However, the output from existing plants will reduce to, let's say, 200 units. So the total will be 1200 units. And in that case, these new plants will not be able to achieve, or the suggested proposal will not be able to achieve the expected output. So here you can see, and let me remove these annotations. Here you can see that the author presents a proposal that has been given by the government to achieve a certain target. The author has a mixed opinion about it. The author is evaluating that proposal and sharing their opinion. They think the project is massive, there is something positive, it is massive, but it is not going to be enough. And then the author presents the reasoning. The first statement, this information adding the projected output to new. So basically, this explains why the author considers that the project is massive. But the second equation after 15 years tells us why the author thinks that this project is not massive enough. With this understanding, let's move to passage structure. All right, so we understand that the statement, in order to achieve self-sufficiency in electricity production, it presents the main goal that we are trying to achieve with the proposal. The first boldface statement, the Hazarian government proposes to construct 11 huge hydroelectric power plants. It presents the proposal by the government and it is a fact. There's no second opinion about it. The government has given that proposal and this proposal is being evaluated in the passage. Although this is a massive project, it is probably not massive enough to achieve the goal. Now, this is the author's opinion, and this is also the main conclusion, in which the author is telling something positive about the plan and giving the final opinion that it is not massive enough. It is true that adding the projected output of the new, this statement, it tells us that this is the information that the author agrees to. And this information in boldface kind of supports why the author considers that this plan is massive, or why the author is not completely against the plan. The author is not saying that this proposal or this plan is completely ineffective. That is not the case. The author agrees that yes, there is some positive aspect about this plan. The last sentence presents the author's main issue, which is not about the expected outcome, the expected output of these new 11 power plants. It is about the impact of the time that will be required to complete the plan. Because of that time factor, the author says or considers that this proposal or this plan will not be effective. So, this is a fact and it supports why the author considers that the plan is not massive enough. With this, let's start our error analysis. Now that we have understood the passage logic and the conclusion, you can evaluate your own understanding of the passage logic and the conclusion. If you think you understood the passage and the conclusion as clearly as we discussed, mark a tick here and a tick here. However, if you think you missed something in the passage understanding, or you did not interpret the conclusion properly, or you missed some information, mark across here if it is about passage, and mark across here if it is about conclusion's meaning. The other important thing is to provide your reason here. Please keep in mind that this reason should be the root cause why you did not understand the passage properly. Basically, whatever you missed, why did you miss that? Did you not read that information properly? Or did you not pay enough attention to understand its meaning, or you were not able to understand the meaning of some word or something, take a note of that exact reason here. Now, before we move on to evaluating the answer choices, let's try to understand what the correct answer choice should convey. That is, try to understand what each of these boldface statements is doing in this passage. So let's start with the first boldface statement. The Hazarian government proposes to construct 11 huge hydroelectric power plants. As discussed, this is a fact. This is a proposal that has been given by a government. This is a proposal that has been discussed and evaluated in the passage. So the correct answer choice will be in line with this information, that this is a proposal that has been evaluated in the passage. Now let's come to the second boldface statement. Adding the projected output of the new hydroelectric plants to the output that Hazaria can achieve now would be enough to meet the forecast demand for electricity. Now, this information is something that the author agrees with. Also, it is something that kind of supports the author's main conclusion or the author's evaluation that this is a massive project. It supports that aspect of the author's opinion about the proposal. The opinion, the reason why the author considers this is a massive project. So, the description for BF2 will be something like information that the author agrees with and uses it to support their opinion that the project is massive. With this understanding, let's move to answer choice analysis. But before that, let's update our error analysis table. In case you have not understood what this correct answer choice should convey, then go back to your error analysis table and mark a cross here and mention the exact reason here why you were not able to identify or understand what the correct answer choice should convey. If you were able to identify it correctly, you can move ahead to answer choice analysis. Now, let's analyze choice A. Choice A says the first introduces, so BF1 introduces a proposed course of action, right? So everything is fine till here. It does introduce a proposed course of action for which the argument provides support. Now, does the argument provide support for this proposed course of action? That is, does the argument support this proposal? No. The argument is trying to point out an issue. It is trying to point out that this project is not enough to achieve its target. So this portion is incorrect. Let's read the second boldface description also. The second gives evidence in support of that course of action. So this is kind of correct. The second boldface statement, it does support why that proposal can work. So, but choice A is incorrect because of this portion. If you selected choice A, it is one of the easiest choices to be rejected. Still, if you selected it, understand that understand the reason. So you already have this table updated for you for passage analysis, conclusion understanding, and identifying what the correct answer choice needs to convey. If you already have a cross here in any of these three, it means that your answer choice analysis will not be correct because your understanding is not correct. Along with that, you need to understand, did you understand choice A properly? Did you understand its meaning properly? If you did not, then mark a cross here and mention the reason here. If you understood choice A, your passage understanding was correct, conclusion understanding was correct, you knew what the correct answer choice should convey, you understood choice A correctly, still, while marking, you did not match it with what the correct answer choice should convey. You understand what choice A is saying, but you do not align it, you do not gauge the alignment between choice A and the intended meaning of the correct answer choice, then mark a cross here. It means that you need to be more careful while you are evaluating answer choices. You need to see whether the choice actually conveys what needs to be conveyed or not. With this, let's move to choice B. Choice B, the first introduces a proposed course of action for which the argument provides support. This is same as the description of BF1 in choice A, and it is incorrect because it does not provide the argument does not provide support to this course of action, so this portion is incorrect. Let's read the second portion also. The second gives a reason for not adopting a possible alternative course of action. Now, there is no such description of any possible alternative course of action or what is the reason for not adopting that. So, this is completely irrelevant. And if you marked this choice, it means that you did not understand the passage at all or you did not understand choice B at all. Accordingly, you should update your error log here. With this, let's move to choice C. Choice C, the first introduces a plan that the argument evaluates. So, yes, PF1 introduces a plan that the argument evaluates. That is correct. Let's read the second portion. The second provides evidence that is used to support that plan against possible alternatives. Now, does the passage talk about any possible alternatives? No. So it is incorrect to say that BF2 has been used to support the plan against any possible alternatives. Again, if you selected this choice, it means that either you were not clear with the passage at all or you did not understand choice C. Please update your error analysis table accordingly, and let's move to choice D now. Choice D is the most popular incorrect answer choice. As I mentioned earlier, almost 50% of the students who attempt this question mark choice D. And most of them do so because they do not understand what this choice is actually conveying. So let's read it and understand. It says the first introduces a proposed plan for achieving a certain goal. That's fine, that is correct, this portion is correct. The second is a claim. So this information is a claim. Yes, we can say that it is a claim that has been used. So this information has been used in support of the plan. So has this claim, this portion, this information has been used in support of the plan? This information does support the plan, although the author has not exactly used it to support the plan, but to show his opinion, his mixed opinion. But still, it is not a clear reason to reject this choice. We can uh, think that okay, this is correct. It has been used in support of the plan, but that the argument maintains is inaccurate. What does this portion mean? This portion means that the claim, that is boldface 2, this portion, is inaccurate as per the argument. Is that so? No, this portion is not true. The argument does not say that BF2, the information that is given in second boldface, is inaccurate. In fact, the author says that it is true. So we cannot say that the argument maintains that BF2 is inaccurate, and that is why choice D is incorrect. Now, did you select this answer choice? Did you select it because you thought that it is talking about the plan? The choice D is saying that the argument considers that the plan is ineffective or inaccurate, and that is why you mark choice D. If that is so, you committed the same mistake. You did not understand what this that refers to. This that refers to the claim. It does not refer to the plan. So, when you are reading any answer choice, be very careful of what meaning it is conveying. The meaning changed because of your interpretation of this one word. And that is why understanding every word is important. So if you mark this answer choice incorrect, update your error log table. If the reason that I mentioned was the reason why you selected choice D, then mark across here and make sure to understand all these references. Whenever you are reading any sentence or any answer choice, make sure you understand what these words are pointing to so that you can get to the correct meaning. With that, let's move to the correct answer choice, which is choice E. Choice E. The first introduces a proposed plan for achieving a certain goal. And that's correct. Boldface 1 does introduce a proposed plan for achieving a certain goal. The second provides evidence that is used to support the argument's evaluation of that plan. So, is that correct? The information that is available in Boldface 2, has that information been used to support the argument's evaluation of that plan? Yes, as we discussed, the author uses information in Boldface 2 to support their opinion that the project is massive. So, this choice is the correct answer choice. Now, if you rejected this answer choice, it is very important to understand why did you reject it. Did you not interpret it properly? Or did you not even evaluate it because you were already convinced with some other answer choice? Do think about it and mention the reason here. Time to update the error log. You have this bridge table updated for this question. Now, wherever you have a cross, that is the category of mistake that you are making. So, for example, this is if this is your bridge table, then what will be the category of mistakes that you made? One will be that you did not understand the passage logic, and the second will be that you did not identify what the correct answer choice should convey. The reasons that you have provided here will go into your root cause analysis, and they will explain why were you not able to understand the passage logic and why were you not able to identify what the correct answer choice needs to convey. Hope that will help you update your error log. Good luck.